Fact. Yes, we know that. Shannon, why haven't the Cowboys been back to the Super Bowl in 25 years? Answer it for me.
Jerry Jones. Skip, Jerry Jones wants all the credit for the success and none of the blame for his failure. If you look at who he had, and we're going to talk about this later, he could have been the Patriots before the Patriots became the Patriots. Oh, yeah. You know he had a 25-year-old Emmett, a 26-year-old Michael Irvin, a 26-year-old Troy Aikman coming out back-to-back Super Bowl. That's what he had.
He did.
So, and a Charles Haley still in his prime, and he had just went and got Deion Sanders. So
he also had one of the most dynamic young coaches I've ever been around.
Yes.
His name was Jimmy Johnson.
And everybody talk about that Cowboy offensive line. Where in 2014 and 15 and 16, the offensive line, they couldn't hold account to what they had. But anyway, Skip, it's Jerry. Jerry is under the belief is that, and what he's never done since he's had it, Jimmy, or Bill Parcells, was empower his coaches. Dave Campo, Chan Gailey, Jason Garrett, Barry Switzer, Wade Phillips, never had the kind of power that Jimmy Johnson had. And Jerry wanted the credit because, see, Jerry...
I think Parcells, he tried.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Parcells, right, I think that's why I didn't put Parcells on the list. But Parcells said, I'm up out of here. I can't deal with you because you told me I was going to be able to do certain things, and here it is. You said I was going to have control. I was going to be able to... The free agents, I was going to have a draft. I told you I didn't want the guy, but you wouldn't put him on the team anyway. So
Terrell Owens.
Yeah, he didn't want T.O.
No.
Jerry wanted T.O. T.O.'s box office. Like I said, Jerry wanted Commas. Jerry didn't want Lombardi. And the thing is, Skip, at the end of the day, is that, okay, you do anything, how about get out the way? How about stay out of the way? You see, Skip, if you think about it, the coaches, Skip, every guy that they released during the season last year, why were they on that team? Jerry put them there. Jerry has made it abundantly clear. We sit around the table, but the buck stops with me. Until we don't get the Super Bowls, and then it's everybody else's fault. Jerry is the reason, because Jerry wants the success. He should have been smart like Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft just sit back, sign the checks, and reap the rewards. That's 6 Super Bowls in about 2 decades.
Yep.
I don't know if that's ever going to be matched again. But Skip, Jerry's the reason. Jerry knows he's the reason. Jerry's, I'll do anything for a Super Bowl, but I still got to be Jerry. I still got to dress the team before the coach does. I still got to do my press conferences. I still got to have my radio shows. I got to do all that. Now, I ain't willing to give up any of that to get the Super Bowl. But now, if I can still do that and get a Super Bowl, man, that show would mean a lot to me. But if I noticed over the last couple of years, Skip, Jerry's become very, very reflective. I hope everything is okay with Jerry, because he's been speaking a lot, it seems to me, with his understanding his mortality. I get uncomfortable when people start speaking in those terms, because, there's power in the tongue. Sometimes you can speak things into existence.
I agree with that. And he has done more and more of that.
Yes.
As if my window in my life is closing.
Yes.
Okay. Before I launch on this, my Dallas Cowboys, and a guy I know very well, Jerry Jones, the gravity of this hit me earlier this morning before the show when I started to look harder and harder at what Jerry has not accomplished since 1995. And I'll give him some credit. With Barry Switzer, he did win one more Super Bowl. They missed a year in '94, obviously, where they lost the NFC Championship game at Candlestick in San Francisco.
I believe they got Jimmy. They ain't losing that game. I'm just saying. I don't believe they lose that game with Jimmy.
You're almost certainly right, although Emmett had a bad hamstring.
He tweaked his hamstring.
He did, but whatever. I am with you on that. It was Barry Switzer's first go-around, and he got a big 15-yard penalty arguing a call that was a bad call on
Deion and Michael Irvin down the sideline.
But given it's been 25 years, here's the gravity for me. Jerry Jones run teams in the last 25 years have made the playoffs 10 times in 25 years. Only 10 times have they even made the playoffs. They have missed 3 of the last 4 years, just for the record. So that's what I'm dealing with right here, right now. But in those 10 years they did make the playoffs, only 4 times in 10 years did they win a playoff game. And not one time in 10 years making the playoffs did they ever win 2 in one season. Okay, so it's just one-offs 4 out of 10 times in 25 years. And obviously, not once in 25 years have they even sniffed the NFC Championship game.
No.
That's devastating. That's for me as a fan, just in the Cowboy Nation realm, that's just tragic. How can you be the architect of this tragedy that has befallen Cowboy Nation, Jerry? And he has the audacity yesterday to say, I'd do anything known to man to get to a Super Bowl. Not to win it, just to win the NFC and get back to a Super Bowl. Right. I'll do anything known to man. False. Wrong. I call you on this. Because there's one thing you will not do. Fire yourself and go spend top dollar, whatever it takes to hire the best football man out there to be the architect of your football team, because that would force you up into your box permanently, where you would have to keep an arm's length, where you would have no more control. You would not own and operate the Dallas Cowboys. You would just own them. Period. End of story. You would have to hire somebody and contractually give him full rights, autonomy to make every last decision. The buck stops on his desk, not yours. You could keep, you know, the guy could keep you in the loop, but still, it's his choice. That's the only way to do this, is to go get a real, live, proven football man to rebuild this in the correct way.
And you let him keep those business cards that have all those titles on it, CEO and VP. You keep the business card, but in theory, someone else runs the team.
And he would have to hire the coach, and he would have to ultimately have control over selecting the players, free agents and draftees. Jerry ain't going to do that.
No, he's not.
Till death do him part. And I'm knocking on wood for Jerry. I hate to even let the words go out there into the universe. But he lives to run this team. It's all he cares about. And I thought the most compelling quote, remember, Jerry was near tears several times. He spoke for about an hour out in Oxnard. This is their annual State of the Union.
It was a little rambly at times.
It's a little scary, crazy at times, because he went into some Jerry speak that I hadn't heard before. Like, what? I don't even know what that means. But Jerry was rambling, and Jerry was getting choked up, and Jerry was getting teary-eyed, and Jerry was close to just flat-out blubbering, where you just break down and start crying before the world to see. And later he was asked about why is he so emotional or over-emotional, and he said, I'm going to read the quote, "What you're seeing is just how good it feels to be here. Doggone," he said, "just as much as I enjoy this stuff, I get to thinking, well, are you ever going to see that again?" Because of the pandemic. He faced a whole offseason of, we barely got through last season, and now it's starting to come back a little bit here and there. We got variants out there, and he's starting to wonder, is it ever going to be the same again?
But Skip, here's the thing. Jerry knows the pandemic impacts people differently. Jerry wasn't impacted by the pandemic. Jerry lived in Texas. They ain't shut down nothing.
Yeah, but again, the media was restricted. Jerry lives for the media.
Your contact. He still can do Zoom.
What I'm saying, you took Jerry and put him on Zoom. How many times last year after games did Jerry stand in the hallway at Jerry World doing a big press session, a media session with 95 reporters ganged up around him? How many times did he do? Well, you couldn't do it anymore. So I think he was facing his celebrity mortality, because he's saying, are you ever going to see that again? He says, last line, he's told them yesterday, I was wondering, are you ever going to be sitting up here talking to everybody again? He's just talking about the ability to do press conferences being threatened, is being threatened.
What Jerry's coming to grips with, am I ever going to be able to sit up here again and have another Lombardi trophy sitting to my right? That's what he's talking about.
Okay,
Skip.
No, but you're missing this point. He concludes by saying, I'm not going to apologize for what I'm saying, but I am sensitive today and emotional about the whole show. Well, listen, you say he likes the commas more than the W's, right? Okay, the commas come from promoting the Dallas Cowboys into the most valuable franchise, not in American sports, in the world.
I know, but Skip, but think about this.
He is the hype master.
Yes, he's P.T. Barnum.
And all he cares about in the end is his own celebrity. He is the most famous owner in the history of sports, beyond George Steinbrenner, anybody you want to throw out, right?
I'll agree. I'll give you that.
And he has 2 radio shows a week and does a press conference after every home game, and he's crying over. I wondered if it would ever come back where I could sit up here and all the world would be listening and hanging on to my every word.
It's almost like, Skip, a guy goes through a catastrophic injury, and then he gets back to the top of where he once was. Let's take Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant got back to where he was playing.
Right.
Like you didn't know, if someone didn't tell you Kevin Durant had ruptured his Achilles,
that is
you
correct.
wouldn't know. Jerry wants to get back, Skip. In his first 5 years, Skip, he had 2 Super Bowls.
I got
and
it.
think about how good am I ever going to hold one of those things again?
Okay.
Am I ever going to be that again?
Okay, but has he been any less famous over the last 25 years without a Super Bowl?
That's my point. That's my point. While America loves winners, Skip, we love winners.
I know, it always drives you crazy. You say, America's team, what have you won?
We love winners. We celebrate winners. We don't celebrate guys that get 5th place at the Olympics. We celebrate guys that get the gold medal, at least get a medal, and we really celebrate guys that get gold medals, or women that get gold medals. Jerry, like you just said, they've only been to the playoffs 10 times, and 4 of those 10 times they won 1 game. They've never won 2 in the same playoff
in 25
season.
years. Yep. There you go.
And remember, Skip, they were steamrolling folks.
Steamroll.
Those back-to-back Super Bowls, it wasn't no walk-off field goal. The Cowboys winning off walk-off field goal. They were rolling people.
I was there. Mismatches.
And Jerry's like, damn. Mr. Kraft said, I wasn't no fool to mess this up. He called him Billy. Me and Billy had some, hey.
Okay, we're going to talk about this later, but it's almost like he and his son, Steven,